Hey guys, we are back. Took a week hiatus, and my camera it looks a little fuzzy. I know. I'm gonna try and clean this out, but I think it's just the camera itself. It helped out a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, we are back. Thank you for joining, and we have another episode of the show. I titled it Watchmen, episode 7, because it was pretty big episode. But before we get to episode 7, I have
I'm
my buddy Lou here. How's it going, Lou?
I'm well. How are you? How was your Thanksgiving week?
It was
And
good. It was good. It was a good weekend. Can't complain. I'm in a different set, so you can see more of my kitchen here, that kind of thing, and all the bottles behind it. But anyway, Lou, what news do we have? Do we have any news at all? The last 2 weeks.
oh,
Well, Shazam. We didn't talk about Shazam. Sorry, Black Adam. The movie.
yeah, the Black Adam. The Justice Society's gonna probably be in it.
Yes.
Bunch of good stuff. Whatever.
Yeah,
Just give me the movie.
Justice Society. Although the one of the producers on Black Adam did say that he would love to see Henry Cavill Superman in the movie, and we do know that Henry Cavill's agent is The Rock's agent and The Rock's ex-wife. We also know that the release of Snyder Cut movement had a really high progress. No announcements or anything, but everybody from the movie made mentions except Henry Cavill, even though he did have a article coming out a couple of days after, we talked about where he said he still is Superman. Now, there was also news that broke from Variety.
Yes, last week Michael
Right.
B. Jordan. I don't know how I feel about that one. Nothing
So,
against Michael B. Jordan, but I ain't going down that road.
here's the problem with it. The reason why I wouldn't want Michael B. Jordan is because of a couple of things. For me personally, is one, he's been in one superhero movie where there was the race switch in a sense. He was Johnny
Yes, Johnny
Storm.
Storm.
That didn't work out well, so people will have bad memories going around. I'm not saying he's going to do a bad job as Superman. And
Now,
number two, I think most likely he's taking the approach of I forgot the Superman character's name, but a Superman in Earth 2 who is black, and he's also the president as well. So there is a Superman in
see,
Earth
I didn't
2.
know that.
Yeah, there is a Superman in Earth 2 who's black and he's the president. Um,
See,
so
I
so
was thinking they
that is
would have
something
went
with that they could have gone with.
more down the line of the Superman with the hammer and all that other stuff.
Oh,
The
you mean
construction guy.
Henry Ironsteel?
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
I could get behind that.
yeah. See, here's the thing, though. I don't think he has the Superman look. What I mean by look is Henry Cavill doesn't even have the traditional look of Superman, but there's a certain look. I think there's a certain he
Henry
doesn't.
Cavill definitely has the build.
He has the build. Remember, he built himself into that. But the Superman look is one that like either aka inspires hope. And the reason why I said he does, I haven't seen that from Michael B. Jordan. His looks are always slightly angry, even when he's happy.
See, there's a one guy that I follow. I don't follow him, but he's on a Christian's network, RB3, and he says Michael B. Jordan is just a face actor. All he shows is emotion with his face. He has no real range.
No, I disagree. I disagree. But he is a face actor. He does a lot of that with his face. But no, he does have range. It's just that it to me, I think the problem lays with just that.
I don't. You saw Raising Dion, right?
Yes, I Racing Dion. He was good in Racing Dion, but he
Yeah, I
wasn't.
thought
He
was
wasn't
pretty
in that
good
a
in it.
lot. He wasn't in that a lot. That's the
But when
difference.
he was in it, he wasn't. His facial expressions were good. His acting was solid. I thought he did a good job in that.
Yeah, I mean, and then Forbes just had an article they said about WB doesn't know what to do with Superman, and I think again, somebody just made somebody put up a quote that's like, how about you just make a movie the fact that is relatable? It's like Lex is trying to take Superman down and he can't, so he turns into propaganda, social media and stuff like that. And a lot of people were like, yeah, that's already a little bit of mixture of Man of Steel and BVS, but also I was like, that is Lex Luthor Man of Steel. the comic book I told you about, where Lex tried everything. I mean, he tried propaganda. He reached out to Bruce Wayne because, I mean, if you tell that story, to me, if you wanted to do a Lex story and have Henry Cavill in it, not as Superman, like, just, you can see him in the distance. We know it's Henry Cavill per se, but the story is really about Lex, right? That's one-sided story. I mean, you can make it as a smaller movie. And then while people look at that, people are like, because I think if people saw that, the problem is Warner Brothers is not allowed their directors to do what they need to do. Like how, just like, I mean, we know that, but take Joker, for instance, right? We know they gave Joker a small budget. We know that, they didn't really want to push it, but they told the director, "Hey, do what you want to do," right? And then he did it. Everybody's like, "Oh, snap. Okay. So this is what you want to do," right?
Yeah, but see, this is the Joker was made under the new regime,
Yeah.
not the old regime. If the Joker was made during the old regime, that movie would not have turned out the way it turned out.
I mean, true. So that's the thing that they need to try and do, and I feel that he is going to come back as Superman in Black Adam. I think he will. I think The Rock will do that. The Rock has enough sway power to force that in there, even if it's just an end credits in that one. Because it's, to me though, it's interesting they picked Justice Society and Hawkman. Hawkman is taking the best lead in that one, which to me makes a lot of sense because his nth metal affects magic. So that's just a good way to play. And again, Hawkman's always angry. Dude's always angry like half the time.
Who do you cast as Hawkman?
That's the thing though. So I mean, you could go different ways. Like you could if you're gonna do the reincarnation Hawkman, right? Then the best, if I were them, is to cast somebody from the Middle East, or at least somebody with Middle Eastern descent. You keep it safe. You don't want any backlashes anywhere, right? You keep it nice and balanced. If you're doing Hawkman from Tanageria in space, then you can cast anybody you want at that point.
It's going to be interesting what timeline they go with, and then will it end up meeting in the Shazam timeline?
I think we will see multiple timelines.
Because if you're going to see Superman, if they do it, Superman is in Shazam's timeline.
Yeah.
So I could see Hawkman come, however they do it. It takes place way before Shazam and all that good stuff. Then, end credit scene, they fast forward, and Black Adam maybe reawakens or whatever in present day, getting ready to go mess with Shazam. Why Superman's there? Unless they pull that story somewhat.
I mean, he could show up in Metropolis like the cartoon. I mean, remember the cartoon with Shazam and Superman where Clark Kent was reporting, and then he shows up. Like you could end that scene right there as the end credit scene with Clark Kent showing up and talking to Billy Batson, writing an article about him, right? Because remember, Billy Batson has gone through a lot of stuff. And there's also this magical stuff that's happening in Philadelphia. So, of course, Clark will go investigate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, because Clark also knows there's a superhero there. And I mean, they're already friends. So at this point, right? So you can always have Clark there. What's up, tech guy, smart buy? But yeah, I mean, you can have that. So it makes sense. Now, when it comes to what else we have for news? Anything else?
All right. So Stephen Alaric joins Henry Goling Snake Eye as Ninja Commando's father.
Okay.
He's from The Expanse.
Stephen who?
Stephen Alaric. Alerick. I don't remember him in Expanse, unless he's in this new season.
Okay. I remember him. But he had a small role in Expanse. So.
And then we also got the official title for Jason Reitman's Ghostbusters sequel confirmed. Let me see what it says here. Blah, blah, blah. Ghostbusters Afterlife. With the trailer coming, I think it's this week or next week, but we're getting a trailer.
Well, this week you're supposedly getting 3 trailers this week.
We're
Supposedly,
not getting Wonder Woman this week.
supposedly.
Well, maybe on Saturday.
I know we're getting Birds of Prey trailer 2 this week,
Oh,
and Black
damn,
Widow.
already?
Yeah, because Birds of Prey comes out in February. Remember?
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah. And
Makes
since that
sense.
first trailer didn't knock things out of the park, the second trailer should guide people
Well,
to be like, "Oh, I want to see this."
It's confirmed as an R-rated movie.
Oh, yes, yes, that's good.
Let's see. Don't care about that.
Just
There's a new
like,
teaser for The Crisis, which starts this weekend.
yes, yes.
I haven't caught up with none of that crap. I just watched.
I've been watching Arrow, and they had good ideas again this season. It's not as bad. I would say this is actually much better because if you're watching Arrow, you know that they've basically Monitor shows up in the last season and says, "Arrow, there's a crisis coming." So basically, he's turned Arrow. I mean, the Arrow is Batman of this universe anyway, so we know that. So Arrow is trying to find. He just sent Arrow on missions to help save the multiverse, but he doesn't told him anything of what he's supposed to do. And it's kind of cool, except that each time they land somewhere, he interferes with whatever's happening at that time or that place or period. So some of them work, some of them don't work. And then the Arrow kids show up and,
Yeah, see that there. The fact that now Mia is his sidekick. No,
it's not that. It's the problem with the Arrow kids is the problem they had with the very large team, right? It's too big of a team with weird personality traits dropped left and right that it almost makes no sense. That's really the problem. It's not even the individuals. Like, if you really think about it, you're like, you can't have like a younger, super angrier version of him because he was angry in season 1 and 2, but he wasn't that stupid. You know what I mean?
Daughter.
Yeah. So those are the kind of things I think they've done there. Flash is just been always at the end of the episode, and Flash just like none of the episodes they just like it's like a bunch of fillers right now to me. Everything is like a bunch of filler episodes till we get to Crisis, pretty much.
I'm watching Crisis and then I'm done with them.
So how many? I thought we were supposed to get like 10 or 12 episodes of Arrow, and that's it.
10 episodes of Arrow. So
yeah. So Arrow, I'm going to finish because I was like, you know what? You did start this craze, and I'll just let you go in peace.
I'll probably just watch the final episode.
Yeah, I'll let you go in peace on that one. Speaking of superhero shows, going to Watchmen EP7. I haven't started Titans yet. I finished Doom Patrol.
What'd you think?
It was fun. It was fun. It was quirky. I can see why some people may not get it because
they were great.
It goes all over the place, but.
Dude,
but it was
best catchphrase on that show was "What the f."
Oh yeah, constantly everywhere.
That was the best episode. Is where Flexo did the one flex to Danny's place.
Yeah. That was a heavy
robot man doing his thing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Flexo was like, "Oh, sorry, it's the wrong muscle. It's this one, not this one." You're like, it don't matter. It don't matter. But yeah, it's a quirky. So that is what what's the other show on CW supposed to be like? The one with
Legends?
a bunch. Yes, that is exactly what they were probably thinking and could not do. You see how quirky it is? Like, they don't have fight scenes; they have good dialogue.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of fights.
And when the fights come in, you really don't care. You're like, okay. What's next, right? It's like that's what Legends is supposed to be, but it just was not. And I thought they would just have a chance to showcase their writing in Legends, and then you go like, you know what? Legends may be cheesy as heck, but this is why it's fun, right? And that's what you have with Doom Patrol. I haven't started Titans yet, but because I got my girl started on Expanse, and she's enjoying it. So I'm like, all right, I can live with that. So she can watch some Expanse, so I can watch some Expanse.
Well, we
Down the
got the
line.
finale this week of Titans,
Yeah,
and the they kind of did it again. It's an hour long show, but the first 25 minutes is let's take care of business, and then the rest of the episode is discussing what just happened. We're a new team. We had a death. I won't say who,
I
not to
know.
spoil it for you. And then the final end credit scene is they're going to be the villain for season 3. And like I was telling a friend of mine, I'm like, watch them set this up. They showed her earlier in the season, and somehow, some way, she'll be the villain for season 3. It deals with Starfire.
Oh yeah. I figured as much. No, it's cool though. I mean, like Titans looks like it's good, so I mean, I'm okay with that. Watchmen has been just
All right,
phenomenal.
so what happened in episode 6?
Did you watch episode 6?
I told you I'm 2 episodes behind.
Oh man, come on.
Dude, I can't stop playing, man.
What are you playing?
Need for Speed. Hey, I'm bonding with my kid.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Watchmen episode 6. If you haven't seen episode 6, I'm just going to briefly go through it. Is because episode 5 she takes the bottle pill of nostalgia,
At the end.
and episode 6 is a fantastic episode. Directing, visuals, acting, you name it. Like the whole, everyone who has done a video on the web will tell you this should be nominated for an Emmy and they should win for best directing in this episode because she flashes. It's all done in black and white. The way it's shot, that she's experiencing her grandfather's memories, and then you find out. I'm going to spoil it for you unless you don't want spoilers.
I don't care.
I know you don't get. I'm just saying it, but if you haven't seen episode 6, just put it out there. You find out her grandfather was Hooded Justice, the first superhero, the one with the noose around his neck, the one that
came in the previous episode
in the TV
store.
Yeah, in the TV show. So remember that TV show is a TV show that's going on currently in the world. But remember, Pedia kept on saying that that TV show is crap. That's not what really happened. So you now see that her grandfather was the very first superhero or masked vigilante, because he was the first one in the Watchmen universe, and he was a cop, and he got almost lynched by one of his fellow cops because they have a group called the Cyclops. They do this sign like that. It's a KKK group, right? Okay. And then on his way back home, he sees two guys trying to rob husband and wife, and then he wears a mask. He wears the mask they put over his head to try and lynch him with, and then he goes and he saves the people, and they say thank you. And then the next day is in the news that some masked guy saved these 2 people, and his wife is like, maybe you should do this and his wife was also the baby. Remember the baby that he picked up when he was a little boy?
Really?
That's his wife, because that's the person he was with the whole time. Right?
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit weird. It's his wife. He's also in the comic book. There was rumors that Hooded Justice and one of the other first Minutemen, Captain Metropolis, were gay, and it confirms that yes, he had at least a gay affair with Captain Metropolis in this. But what was interesting is that when he went out as Hooded Justice, he painted around his eyes white. Because if people back then in the 1940s saw that a black man did that, would they believe? Would they be okay? As opposed to seeing like white eyes. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so there was that. So that was it's a lot. There's a lot of information in that episode. There's a lot of Superman references and all that. And then we get to episode. So she's taking a lot of the.
She took the whole bottle.
She took the bottle, and then she wakes up in Lady True's office, and Lady True says she's she's helping her out, and then we now see more of her own backstory, right? And some of the things some of the things we mentioned, like one of the big, at the end of this episode, I'm cutting it short because you see her backstory, see how she becomes Sister Knight, see how she had a traumatic childhood.
And I hear the guy makes his grand return.
And then Agent Blake gets captured. She gets captured because she goes to the police chief's wife to tell the wife about, that, oh, your husband might be part of the, KKK. And she was pretending like she didn't care. And it's like, yeah, of course we knew that he is. And we're trying to make it's like, at first we wanted to make the senator president, but we wanted something much bigger. You're like, what's bigger than the president? And you see the senator with Agent Blake. He's like, yeah. Tell me your grand plan. All you bad guys do this all the time. It's just like, why be the president when I could make myself my own very own blue man? And she's like, what? So they have found a way to kill Dr. Manhattan, supposedly, and make them their own Dr. Manhattan. Now think of, and then Lady True says,
how could you kill Dr. Manhattan?
Look, that's what they said. But Lady True also knows this fact and knows that because her grandfather found that out and said they're trying to kill Dr. Manhattan and replace him with theirs. Oh. So, and remember, think about it. Dr. Manhattan does not interfere with anything, which is fine. Imagine if it was Dr. Manhattan KKK version. Because the senator went, it's kind of hard being a white man in today's environment. I'd rather, how about just be a blue man? And she went, oh snap. Yeah, you're right. Episode 6 and 7 are amazing. And then Lady True confronts Sister Knight. It's like, Dr. Manhattan is walking and living with us here in Oklahoma. And she walks away and she's like, I told you that and you didn't answer. She goes home and then her husband comes and she's like, honey, I'm sorry, it's time because we're in big trouble. And she takes a hammer and she's like, no, but what do you mean? It's like, you didn't have an accident. You don't remember. No amnesia. She hits him on the head, poof, smashes his skull a little bit, pulls out something that looks like Dr. Manhattan's, symbol. And next minute, the blue light appears.
He's Dr. Manhattan.
Cal was Dr. Manhattan, which is why, remember that
you called.
Yeah. Remember when he told the kids there's no heaven or hell. Things just appear and they disappear. That's literally it. So we get a glimpse of next week's episode that says they met in Vietnam. He was walking around in Vietnam. They met. And he says, I love you. Or I've loved you. And she's like, how do you experience love? How do you experience love? So what happened? Remember, he doesn't experience time normally anymore. So he's already been in a relationship with her before he even met her in the first place. Yeah. Thank you, bad guys. Yes. I mean, because he was very odd. He was just like, again, and considering the actor he is now, after doing, Aquaman, you don't just cast him just to be the husband. That's it. Like,
he was cast for a reason. There's the reason.
Yeah, exactly. And he fits the build of Dr. Manhattan. So in order to...
if they don't got him walking around naked, we're good.
No. I mean, they showed him in a suit for the next episode. And he wore like a mask. And I guess he decided that when they wanted to be in this relationship, he would build himself a body to fit into. So I think he can't change his skin color. I don't think he knows how to. I think it's impossible for him to, but I think he can build something for him to fit into. And he just basically, so it answers the question, when the wife was attacked by the 7th Cavalry, you remember she shot one of the guys and the other guy came, he was the one who took out. Maybe that's just his automatic response that he will always, in case they're in trouble, he will always, but it looks like the way he set his human body is he had confined it to do certain things, like to be human, but not like superhero and all that kind of stuff in there. So, but yeah, so there's that. And then we know, and then I heard from somebody else, which now makes sense. He said, save me, D, save me, daughter. And in this episode, Lady True says, she confirmed that her daughter is her mother. That's a clone of the mother.
I thought so.
Because the daughter said, I have all these memories. She was telling her Sister Knight. And because Sister Knight's like, yeah, when I had those flashbacks with my grandfather, it felt like that. She told the mother, he's like, why the hell do you do that? And she's like, well, I'm doing something great by saving the world. And I want my parents to see. So my mother, she's like, what? And she's like, is your dad coming too? He's like, he'll be there. So the dad, to me, is Adrian Veidt. No, Adrian Veidt. And he crash landed on that farmland.
And whatever happened with Ozymandias?
Yeah, sorry, that's Ozymandias. His name is Adrian Veidt. His superior name is Ozymandias. So I think that's her dad, because in this episode she talked about there's a part when it was like 4 hours before the Millennium Club opened. She was talking to a group, like to her staff. She graduated from MIT at 15. At the age of 4 years later, she bought MIT. She did all these great things left and right. She's a trillionaire. I was like, she's that smart. Oh, she has to be the daughter of Ozymandias. There's nobody else who would spurt an offspring like that. I mean, I'm sure you can have that, but for this world to make that sense, which is why him selling the company to her is something he would do.
I'm gonna have to catch up probably tomorrow at work before I do anything else.
Bad Guy says, I think the other weird kid may play a part. Which weird kid? Oh, yes, you mean the child.
The one that Sister Knight and
Sister Knight's oldest son. Yeah, oldest son. Yeah, son. I mean, you're right though, because he's a little off too.
I mean, granted, he's been through some trauma in his life that could explain it, but
I mean, you're right though. But then again, Bad Guys, remember when they showed the scenes of Sister Knight when she was young? So basically, her parents died in the bombing in Vietnam, right? And when they brought the bombing suspect to her, I mean, like, she's become cold. They looked, the lady was, the police lady was like, don't be afraid. She's like, no, I'm not afraid. Yeah, that's him. She's like, you sure? Yeah, that's him. Like, it's the little girl from Shazam. The little sister from Shazam. She plays her, and she's just like, no, that's him. And then later on, her grandmother comes to pick her up. And the grandmother puts her in the cab after they talk and get together. It's like, I'm gonna take you to Telescope, Oklahoma. Puts her in the cab, and then as she's about to walk around to the other side, she has like a heart attack and drops dead. And she walks out. And she walks out. Yeah, this girl has Sister Knight has had a rough life. So you can see, so you understand now why she's like that.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah. So next week we're going to see Dr. Manhattan's interest. Now, what's interesting is going to be how Laurie feels about this when that happens, because Manhattan will tell her, well, I loved you, but I don't love you anymore, because he will tell her he still loves her because he's experiencing that time in the past now, but he's not there now, and it's in the future, and what have you.
So you caught up with the Mando?
Yeah, I did. Mandalorian, again, for me as a show is okay. I honestly tell you that it's fun, but it's okay.
So you did not enjoy last week's episode where all the Mandalorians came out and helped him out? That shit was epic.
No, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. There's something about the Mandalorians that I don't like. It's not.
What's not to like about Baby Yoda, bro?
See, that's one thing I don't like. That to me smells like pure Disney. And don't get me wrong, I actually like Baby Yoda. It's not like I don't like it, but it's almost like I know, like, okay, we need something to get people hooked for this. And Baby Yoda was it.
Now, I don't even think they needed a Baby Yoda in it. It just happened to play
out. No. I said people hooked, not people to watch and enjoy. You see, the difference here is this. Star Wars fans, even me, I would still watch it. but to get it trending above everything else on Twitter is Baby Yoda power. That's what you need. You know what I mean? It's like baby. I mean, look at I saw memes this weekend. People were like, I would use Baby Groot for firewood to keep Baby Yoda warm. Come on. That's how
I mean, you saw the one I sent you on Instagram.
yeah, that's how rough people are, man. See, that's how much Baby Yoda has done. So to
Well,
me, I'm not saying it's a purely a marketing ploy, but you can clearly see the advantages of having it.
he's not a clone of Yoda. That's just to put that out there. He was born around the time Anakin was born. He's 50 years old now. This takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
No, that means Anakin is. Oh yeah, Anakin. Sorry, not Luke. My bad. You're right.
So he's born the same time as Anakin. And then when Force Awakens starts, he's about 80 years old. If he survives, because we really don't know what they're going to do.
Does he, I mean, the problem is it doesn't finish before Force Awakens because I was like, does he show up in Force Awakens? My problem is, where
Awakens
is this guy
now in
now?
Rise of Skywalker?
I mean, granted, he's 80, so it means he's like a 10-year-old kid, maybe, right?
He's now starting to come into probably, if anything, I watched a video where he would have been allowed into the Jedi Academy.
Yeah, he's a 10-year-old kid. Because remember, they all use they usually like to the kids to be young to get into Jedi Academy. So he's about 10. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, 6 or 7 younglings. Yeah, he's about 6 or 7 at that age. Sorry, 8 years old if he's 80. I'll just put it by hundreds of numbers. So he's
last week's episode was directed by Deborah Chow. She's doing all of Obi-Wan. Did you like her style?
And it was cool. No, you don't. I mean, the directors have been good, except the first episode was a little shaky, but I get it.
That was Dave Filoni.
No, but also you're not sure where you're going with it at that first episode too. Anyway, after that, you kind of look at it and you go, okay, let's do this, let's do that.
Because the second episode was done by the guy who directed Dope.
Yeah, him. And then the second one was the woman.
The second one
third one was
Deborah Chow. This one was Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah.
She did a really good job.
No, I think it was good. Like I said, to me I wish Mandalorian was just grittier. That's the thing. That's all. Because for who he is and what he is, the non-grittiness, I think I'm also used to now watching characters that are like that. I'm not saying you have to be R-rated. I'm saying gritty. That's the thing I'm missing from this. Because he just feels like, it's Disney. Like I'm getting that Disney feel now, which is making me bothered about Disney Plus shows. Is I don't want it to feel like it's a Disney product. I want to remember how, like, especially maybe now it's gotten a little bit worse, but initially with Pixar stuff didn't feel like Disney movies. It felt like Pixar movies. You know what I mean?
And then it got Disney vibes.
Exactly. Right? Disney movies were always Disney movies. That was fine. But Pixar stuff was always Pixar. So many adult jokes, but still, fun for the kids and all that stuff. That brown sugar. He's talking about Dr. Manhattan in the closet. So yeah.
I still don't get why they go to the closet, but whatever.
Eric Drummond says, "Hey, what's up with yourself? What's up with y'all wanting grittiness like DC grittiness?" I didn't want that grit. I just said, look, the character is a bounty hunter. It's not fun, right? It's grimy business. Bounty hunting is not like, I just want it to feel like what it's supposed to be, so I can get the idea that this guy is this tough. You know what I mean? Especially because the reason why we have a Mandalorian is because of Boba Fett. Even though
Boba Fett wasn't a Mandalorian.
Yeah, he wasn't. But I mean, this is the reason why we have it, right? And we only got like 10 minutes of Boba Fett. That's literally it, right? So
I still did not see the mistake.
It's probably the comics and then the novels and things like that.
Even in the comics, hasn't.
No, the old novels. They're probably a couple. Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
So
I'm about to do my Star Wars run here soon.
So yeah, so there is that I'm just saying that I would like to see some of that, because here's the thing. I mean, and you've heard this from me so many times. The reason why, like, I enjoy Marvel movies, but I take none of them seriously. Not seriously, like I don't consider any of them to be. I don't have any stakes in them, right? I don't feel like, oh man, like, Thor can really take this guy out. I'm like, here's the funny thing, right? And people joked about this, and these videos on the web, where they show like Doctor Strange's thing come out, and then it shows Superman coming out of the Fortress of Solitude. And then if you just check out the comments, this is just people's reaction. I'm not saying that it's factual. It, comments are like, oh man, the fight's over. Like, that's what I want from certain characters. Like, I want you to feel like, yes. I mean, the one character that's only to me that does that is Iron Man, because we spent time with him knowing tech so much that we know that he's going to give us a piece of tech that will somehow get us there, right?
Somehow beat you.
So Thor, as much Thor was only until he got his his hammer, but then they made him fat, and then he took it all out again. So for me, it's just like, my thing is power levels. Like, I know how strong a character is, and I would like to see it. I don't want to play around and all that kind of stuff. But I get
what DC gave us that Marvel hasn't. They started out with characters that used their actual strength on screen, not the hocus pocus that Disney gave us with them holding back. There's no way in hell Captain America should be able to hang with Thanos in any sense. I don't care how much adrenaline you got running through your body. When he punched you to the ground, you should have just been squashed like an ant.
No, what should have happened is every punch he gets, he should be blocking it with his shield, because that's the only way he's supposed to survive. And the only way he gets into that fight is when he picks up the hammer. Like, that's literally it.
In Infinity War, he had no shield. He had the things T'Challa gave him.
Exactly. No, but it's made of, that's good. Fine. It's made of vibranium, which is as strong as adamantium. So that's
fine. But it's not a shield. It's really just arm guard, hand guard.
Gauntlets with with shield padding.
When he sat there, went and is holding his hands on the damn gauntlet, and Thanos punches him with his right hand, he should have literally just squashed him like a bug. I mean, when he squashed T'Challa with the punch, you seen that man fall to the ground like a rag doll. But Captain America, no, I don't want to buy that shit.
Yeah,
There's certain things that just wasn't plausible. I mean, he literally beat the crap out of the Hulk, and the Hulk will take all them and squash them like bugs.
Just say, I mean, that, yeah. But anyway, that's my take on that. But in terms of, let's head back to Watchmen for a little bit. We've got 2 more episodes left.
I thought it was a 10-episode run.
No, it's 2. I think it's 9 episodes. It's 9 episodes. So it's and he says there's only 1 season though. The showrunner said it's a 1-season show. And I get them, because they had an idea, and they had a path for the idea, and that was it. So
really? So yeah. we invested this just to get 1 season. I want more.
We got you know what it is? To me, they would have to time jump again, and then try and create something else.
Okay, so make each season an anthology.
Yeah, I mean, they could do that, and we'll see.
That won't be too bad.
I mean, I don't know, but I will say though, like, I gotta say, Watchmen, every single episode has been just on point. Just absolutely on point.
I don't know, but I saw Looking Glass. He was in Angel Has Fallen. That actor.
Yeah, he was.
Yo, dude, Angel Has Fallen. Great popcorn eating fun movie. Ain't the best story in the world, but you're going to enjoy the hell out of it.
No, because of the terrible story is why I actually backed out of this. And I'll tell you why. This is a man who saved president twice before this. Remember, what's his name again? The president in this one is The voice of God.
Jeffrey, no,
No.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman was the vice president to the president in part one and in part two. So if he was the vice president, he saved him twice. Granted, Morgan Freeman didn't even flinch when he came out of the coma. It was like, mm-mm. But seriously, this guy has saved the president twice. Like, why would he now turn around and like sell out?
Well, I bought it.
I didn't. I was like, let
I
me just
bought it
watch
how
that.
I knew once that training exercise in the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie. Oh, those people are corrupt. This is some ploy to probably get some DNA off of him. Something's gonna come back to frame him. His father was a good trip on the mountain.
No, his father is great though. Like having what's his name again as the father, where
Nick
he's
Nolte.
like Nick Nolte. And I was like, but Nick Nolte plays that role so well because I really feel like that's his real beard and that's how he's been living for a while. So it didn't feel like it was, like let's put some prosthetics on you, like. But you remember just the amount of like landmines he had all over the place. He's like, "Are you serious, Dad?" He's like, "Nobody's taking my house."
When you think he's done, here's another row. Rah!
Oh man, that was
dude,
great.
I watched that at work and I was like, wow, this flick is great.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
stupid, but it's great. I love movies like that.
Yeah, it was on
And
point.
folks out there that want to watch The Irishman, just be prepared. It's long. It might take you 2 days. Unless you start early morning and finish, you will fall asleep at least once. And there's going to be one scene that you're going to be like, wow, that was bad.
Oh, the kicking scene out the bar. I've seen it on. I've seen it on
The grocery store.
grocery store. Yeah, that's it. Bar. Yeah.
Dude, oh man. I watched it, I'm like, this looks a little off. And then my cousin came on, he's like, dude, that part was shot horribly. Why didn't they just get younger actors to do this and then just put their faces on the bodies? I'm like, I don't know. But Scorsese wouldn't have done that. He ridiculed the industry and then turn around and he do something like that. Oh, forget about it. He would never hear the end of it. So it's a good movie overall, but this is long.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's
Expanse, I think, is next week.
Expanse is next week. Oh my god.
I think
No, it can't be next week.
it's either next week or the 19th. I know we're getting. We get The Witcher the same day we get Star Wars.
Early word on The Witcher says the fight.
Season 1 ain't even the first book.
Yeah, season 1 fight scenes will make you.
Will make Game of Thrones look like nothing.
Like nothing, yeah, pretty much so.
That's don't bite off more than you can chew. That's all I can say.
No, I think they worked it out well because after I watched Henry Cavill's interview with Men's Health, and they were talking about it was an interesting health interview because normally you always talk about, oh, how did you train for this role? And most of the time, either the trainer will talk. So his trainer spoke about specific exercises, right? And he's like, I do this exercise for this, and Henry Cavill's like, well, it's because sometimes I'm using a real sword or a fake sword, but if I'm doing it for a bunch of hours while wearing armor, I have to be able to swing this way and do this way and do the moves and use my upper body for this, my lower body for that, and that. Like very precise statements for why you're doing the exercise because it's going to help you to do this. So it looks like I'm actually swinging my sword and not look like some guy acting, kind of that kind of thing in there. So it was a lot of that. And so when I heard that, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then when all the reports now came out, we're like, yeah, I mean, then I was like, yeah, it makes sense. It looks like he spent, but also it's not his first time fighting with a sword as well. He was in the TV show The Tudors where he played King Henry VII. Yeah, King Henry VII's friend. Yeah, he was full bearded in The Tudors.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. He was in that. So So he's had some experience, but I guess this, just amplifies it as well in there. So it makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. That is it for this week. Hopefully we'll be back next week with another show. Around roughly the same time. Thank you again, Tech Guy Smart Buys, for jumping in, as well as also Bat Guys and Eric Drummond. In terms of episodes 8 and 9 of Watchmen, I say Ozymandias is Lady True's father. And Dr. Manhattan is not going to die. That's all I'm going to say. I think they will try
to kill him.
Yeah, because remember, Ozymandias tried to kill him. And remember that if you watch the movie, which is the same thing in the book, where he's like, please, reassembling myself from millions of pieces is the very first thing I learned how to do. So, but here's the thing, though. I don't know, because Doomsday Clock is coming out, and it shows the face-up between Superman and Dr. Manhattan. And in that, Dr. Manhattan says, I see Superman and I see nothing afterwards. Because you know how he always sees time back and forth? After he sees Superman, there's nothing after that.
Okay. They stopped that run.
No, it's coming out. So this is the last issue this month.
I haven't seen. I've got, I think, up to like 7.
No, it's
make no more.
It's got up to 11.
Oh, then I'm gonna have to go find those.
Yeah, 12 is the one. It's been delayed. 12 has been delayed for the longest time. This was supposed to end last year, not this year. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you very much, and enjoy.
Till next week.